Get on down with your basher. Get on down. Listen to the sound. Come on.
Ghost Riot Radio. Nick. The ghost himself.
I'm the ghostless ghost, babe.
Nicky.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome to Ghost Riot Radio. I'm Nick Noble, and I'm your host here on this extra crazy episode of Ghost Riot Radio, the 18 and over podcast designed for free-thinking adults just like yourself. Currently being recorded here in Mahaffey Theater in St. Petersburg, Florida. Quick shout-out, clotheslinecreative.com and onecollectiveclothing.com. Big up both those guys. Make sure you go check out their websites. Really, really great stuff going on there. Riot Gang. Many of you know that I consider myself a hip-hop fan, a bit of an appreciator, and you probably know that I have strong concerns about the future of the hip-hop industry. Today, I get the incredible opportunity to pick the brain of a legend. Do me a favor, y'all. Put your hands together for the man, the myth, Darryl McDaniels, better known as the King DMC of RUN DMC.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
So crazy.
King of Rock, Isman Higher.
Yo, thank you so much for being on this show. We appreciate you taking some time out. I know you're on a busy schedule and all, but this is a dream come true right now. You just made a hip-hop man's heart like so happy right now.
Cool.
I'm digging it right now. So, first of all, tell everybody what brings you to St. Pete.
Oh, I'm here doing an event, convention for youth. We're going to have a big discussion on how to empower the youth.
I love
We're
that.
doing it right here in St. Petersburg, and this is the first event that we're doing of its kind in the city, and we hope to spread it around the nation.
Amazing.
And if we can't make it to y'all, we want y'all to follow this model
Okay.
and do stuff in your communities yourselves.
Absolutely.
You know, the same way hip-hop started in the Bronx. And then everybody that felt it and experienced it, it spread it to Queens and to Brooklyn. Then it took over all New York. Then it went to Philly. Then it went to Cologne. And it spread across this nation. Then it went overseas.
Right.
We want the same attitudes and the same enthusiasm about creatively and positively making yourself better so that you can make everybody around you better, which will make your community better. That'll make your town better. That'll make your city better. That'll make your state better. That'll make your nation better. To make all cultures better. That's what we're trying to do here with this convention for the kids.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome.
Same thing hip-hop did. It's basically hip-hop without the music. You know what I'm saying?
Mind blown. Here it goes right here. So, yo, y'all. All right. So this is an amazing honor, by the way. Like I don't know if anybody knew you were here, but we found out you've been all over town already. You got to go to a game last night. You did the Braves
I
game.
threw the first pitch out.
That's crazy.
Threw a strike too.
Woo! If you saw that,
but I'm not souped up about it because at Fenway Park the first time I did, I threw a dud.
That's all right. So
But it inspired me to do better.
You're in the backyard throwing balls?
No,
around?
I didn't practice. I didn't practice. I just said, when I give it to try, I'm going to give it my all. And I'm not going to be intimidated. But I was intimidated.
My dude.
But,
That's all right. That's a lot of people that have to
it's
pick
just
it
like
up.
still going on stage. People say, you nervous? Yes, I'm nervous.
Every time.
You know, I'm excited about creating the music and stuff like that. But I forget, oh, my God, I'm the guy that got to go out there and perform it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's fun just doing it.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get nervous every time I do this show.
I never wanted to be in show business.
No?
Like, yeah, in the beginning, hip-hop was safe for me because, remember, it was no MTV.
Right.
There was no videos. And there was no album covers.
Right.
Everything was the giant 33 or the giant 45. Singles. Everything was singles. And the only thing you knew was the profile record label, or if you was on Sugar Hill, you had the Sugar Hill with the rainbow and stuff like that.
So
you had to read the record to see who it was.
Right.
So in the beginning, when Joe put me in the group, hip-hop was safe for me because I could make these records with Joe and be in the room with people. I was in St. John's University with my music playing in the lunchroom and everybody up dancing to it.
Crazy.
And I'm sitting there going, nobody knows that I'm the secret MC, the most powerful entity. Because it was all fun. It was a hobby for me.
Right.
Hip-hop, you know, I wanted to pretend to be Melly Mel and Mo D and Flash.
Right.
Didn't want to be him.
No.
The same way, you know, I grew up doing my comic books, was the same way that I'm pretended to be Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man.
Crazy.
The same thing.
It's a perfect question because I'm glad you mentioned the comic books because I don't know if everybody out there knows that this man is not just a hip hop legend, but he also is branching out into all kinds of other crazy stuff, including DMC, Darryl makes.
Yeah,
comics.
Darryl makes comics. My first love before music was comic books. All I did was collect, read, and draw comic books.
Oh, you were drawing too?
Yeah.
Oh.
1985, King of Rock.
Right.
I'm DJ Run, I could scratch. I didn't say I'm DMC, I could rap. I'm DMC, I could draw. Crash through walls, come through floors, bust through ceilings, and knock down doors. Rappers don't do that. Superheroes do that.
Absolutely.
And I had no idea by me speaking those words that I actually manifested what I was saying, pretend, making believe on a microphone in the world.
Right.
Run DMC came and knocked down walls and came through floors and turned the whole world out. You know what I'm saying? They say when Steven Tyler knocked down the wall in the Walk This Way video, that didn't just happen in the video.
Right.
It happened in the world. You know, fashion, music, black people and white people relationships. Like we had but that made me know the power in this art that we had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when that started happening, I went home and was scared because, oh, my God, I was just pretending. I didn't mean for none of this to really come true.
What do I do with all this
You know what
now?
I'm saying?
Yeah, you got
but
your
then,
hands
you know,
full.
once we did it, that gave us a direction of, you know, what we wanted to write. You know, coming out of lower suburban middle class Hollis, Queens, New York, you know, I knew even in the dirt poor ghetto there was some good things.
Right.
But at the time, our music was just considered black ghetto music because everything was the message. The message came out, and then it was message 1, message 2, life in the ghetto, growing up in the ghetto, hard. We even made hard times after me. It's like, so I was like, dag, everybody's so depressed. And then I had to say, okay, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing because hip-hop is this new cultural phenomenon coming from the burnt-out cities in the Bronx with these former gangbangers and drug dealers making this music, talking about their situations. But then Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation switched it for me because the message was, here's the message. Broken glass everywhere, poverty, death, and struggle. Then Bambaataa said, okay, we are the people of this community living in death and darkness, but we got a vision. There's a place called Planet Rock that we must create.
Absolutely.
And that made me say, okay, when I write my records now, I'm going to talk about the good also. And I'm going to put more emphasis on the good. Because it seems like people get excited about everything being so messed up and this and that. And all that energy goes into negative energy.
Right.
So when I got on a mic, I was like, yo, I'm going to talk about the things that I do. You know what I'm saying? One of my first rhymes, not my first, one of my first rhymes on record was, I'm DMC and a place to be. I go to St. John's University. Since kindergarten, I acquired the knowledge. After 12th grade, I went straight to college. So that gave an approval to other kids, you know, whatever you was going through. You could talk about some stuff that's not bad and still be gangster and still be strong and still be mean. And
Please hear that. Can you say it again for me?
you could talk about stuff that is good and positive and not negative and bad and still be gangster.
It almost makes you more tough.
No, it makes you way tougher.
You become the brave one who steps outside.
Everybody cursing and shooting and stabbing and talking about what they did and what they hit and all of that stuff.
Right.
And then you come about talking about, you know, the people you inspired and motivated and the good, you got a good grade on your test, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you fed the homeless, you know what I'm saying? And you took some people to school, you know what I'm saying? You stopped the problems that was killing your community. And people gonna look at you. You gotta be super, super, super bad to do that.
Absolutely.
It's easy to be negative.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? All the easy stuff, it's easy to be negative. You gotta be super, super powerful to be positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why our records were so strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
I think it was Melman from Dr. Dre's crew.
Yeah. Okay.
From the web, he said, true story. He said, ain't nothing more motherfucking powerful than motherfucking Run DMC and motherfucking Jam Master Jay coming to the motherfucking Coliseum and rocking for 2.5 hours and not cursing once. That's fucking gangster. And all his boys was like, whoa, like, how do you do that shit? True story.
That's amazing.
Because he was, all the motherfuckers, you know, was rolling in at the end and not motherfucking curse once. Now that's gangster. And all his boys said, oh, it's crazy.
That's so funny.
But, you know, it's the power into doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So So how did DM? So you love comics growing up. What made you
Yes.
decide it was time to like give back?
I didn't decide that.
Oh.
I know you know Riggs Morales.
Yes.
Eminem's right-hand man over for the rise of the great Shady Records empire. Well, Riggs Morales, I went to have a music meeting with him, and when I walked in the meeting, he said, yo, I usually keep it professional. I usually don't fan out. And he used these words. But DMC, man, you was like my superhero, man, the way you look, the way you sound, and all that stuff that you did. So he had asked me what was it like when I was a kid. And I was like, well, I went to Catholic school my whole life, and all I did was read, draw, and collect comic books. And he said, comic books? And I was like, yeah, comic books. He said, comic books? I said, yeah, comic books. So we sat there for 3 hours and we talked about comic books.
Ooh.
Marvel comic books, New York City, you know, everything that I did as a kid, from Fred Flintstones to the Jetsons to I Dream of Jeannie. You know, we watched I Dream of Jeannie to see Jeannie too. You know what I'm saying? She was fly.
Every time she
Little
wiggled that
kid's
nose,
dream.
like,
Yeah, exactly. So all of that, and then the Kung Fu, you know, Wu-Tang. You know, everybody understood Wu-Tang, but I'm the same thing like Wu-Tang. Kung Fu flicks, Bruce Lee's like a god to us in hip-hop.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Jim Kelly, Enter the Dragon, all of that. So he was like, wow, D. So he said, D, you should do a comic book. And I said, no.
Oh.
And he said, why not? I said, because I don't want to be another rapper just because I got a hit record trying to do something.
Right.
Because hip-hop has a way of ruining stuff.
Oh.
Because of its commercial power, we have a way of ruining stuff. Sometimes we need to stay in our lane and put more emphasis on keeping the positivity and the true meaning of hip-hop alive while we're doing our business.
Absolutely.
So I didn't want to be one of those dudes that disrespect my culture and then try to go disrespect another culture, because the comic books is my first love.
Right.
Like, that's my secret power that I know. I would never defile that universe. You know what I'm saying? I will keep all intruders out and stuff like that.
He's ready.
But Rick said, yo, D, that's very honorable of you, but you could do the same thing with these comic books that you've always done with your music and more. Wow, I didn't think about it like that. With this book, they could get it in their hands.
Yeah.
It's a 3D experience. You read it, you imagine it, you feel. It's 4D. Read it, imagine, feel, and you get to hold it in your hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all those emotions, I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. So he took 3 years ago, he took me to the New York City Comic Con. And when I walked in there, flashbacks. Oh, I had all, because me and my brother, we had a huge collection of Marvel comic books from start to finish. And the reason why I don't have my comics, I mean, 4 years ago, I walked in my brother's house, and I'm like, I thought you sold all of your number ones and twos too. Me and my brother, we did a comic book sale to get 2 turntables and a mixer when hip-hop came over the bridge from the Bronx, because we had a problem when we was little. We didn't sell weed. And we wasn't stick-up kids, so we had no money. But my brother, he was 3 years older than me. He said, yo, we're going to do this comic book thing to get 2 turntables and a mixer. Fortunately for me, it worked out. So I told Riggs that story, but when I walked into the New York City Comic Con, I had that issue, this and that, Star Trek. I seen all of this stuff, and Riggs just looked at me and said, and 1 year from now, we're going to have a DMC comic book up in here. And then he said, yo, you can't use Marvel, you can't use DC. He said, if you had to name your comic book company, what would you call it? I said, what you talking about? Because I was naive. I thought we create a comic book and we take it to Marvel and DC and let them do it. He said, nah, D, we hip-hop. We do this ourselves.
Absolutely.
We are the owners and controllers and creators. And it just popped into me. The same way Darryl McDaniels, the initials on my name, allowed me to be the devastating mic controller in hip-hop. I just said, I'm going to call my company Darryl Makes Comics, DMC. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing else.
It couldn't be better.
And that's how the whole thing came about. So with the comic book, it's in the 80s like universe. But the question is, it looks like the 80s, feels like the 80s, and sound like the 80s, but it could be the future.
Hey.
But in the comic book, my character, it's an alternate universe. So in this universe, my superpower is hip-hop and rock and roll. But in the alternate universe of the comic book, I'm not the rapping superhero.
Right.
I actually graduate from St. John's University, and I become a teacher. So I'm a teacher at the high schools. I'm a teacher at the junior high school in that universe, but I happen to be also the superhero running around fighting all the bad guys. Now, all the youth and all the young people, they're doing hip-hop.
Right.
They're doing punk rock. They're doing rock and roll. They're doing pop. So it's them, and I'm impressed by them.
Right.
I'm like, what is this thing that they, like, I'm impressed by this hip-hop thing, and a lot of the students are brilliant because of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, the rock that they're doing and the punk that they're doing, and when they're doing their music, they're very highly tuned and intellectual, and it's the music that's making them be smart and want to study. You know what I'm saying? And trying to set an example of how we should teach our kids. A lot of kids, we can't teach them the typical C spot run A, but no, we need to look at the kid, see where there's attention at, and that's what we're doing in the book. So in the book, it's me, and the character in the book is I'm Darryl McDaniels, son of Byford, everything like that, except that I'm a superhero.
So sick.
Yeah.
It's like real life, but in comic form, folks. This is amazing. Here, I'm going to read this to you real quick. Make sure you check it out. It's DMC-comics.com.
Yes. Yep, DMC-comics.com.
And if you want to get on Instagram, Twitter, you can go at DMC Makes Comics. And on Facebook, go Darryl Makes Comics, DARRYL Makes Comics on Facebook. And if you want to buy it, go to www.kicks.com.
Yes, we have 2 sneaker boutiques.
What?
We have a sneaker boutique in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I should have known.
And we have a sneaker boutique in Vegas right now.
Hey.
So, Clicks is clothes and kicks combined.
I'd love that.
But the only kicks that we can sell is Adidas. None else except Adidas, but we got clothes and flavors flavors and stuff like that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost if I had thought I had extra time, I was gonna run and either pick up a
Everybody
DMC record
always
and a pair of shoes.
Sneakers, exactly.
I didn't do it. I didn't fan out like I could have. I didn't do it.
Yeah, because the funny joke is, kids, I did a song. I did a song with K.O, our man K.O,
Hey,
who
shout
was a
out
black
Big
metal
K.O.
kid that was so happy when Run DMC came along because it gave him validation.
Absolutely.
He wasn't a weirdo no more. But I was doing I was talking about the comic book one time, and I did my King of Rock rhyme.
Right.
Yo, in 1985, I did this record called King of Rock, and now when I walk the earth, everybody else is just rappers. That's the famous rapper. That's the richest rapper. That rapper's dating that girl. But when I walk in the room, all the rappers in the world in interviews call me king. And I want y'all to have that saying, you are kings and queens, and what you speak, you become. So I did this record. I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must use fire. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. And one kid, I was in a middle school, one kid said, excuse me, Mr. DMC, to burn your kingdom, all I have to do is use fire? That's the physical kingdom, not the spiritual. He caught me.
Got him.
So, yeah, he got me. And I was like, wow, this kid, he was listening. And he caught it and stuff like that. So I had to go home. And I had to write the rhyme. I put it on one of K.O.'s records. I said, like Luke Cage, I'm a hero for hire. Raised in the age of the vinyl record buyer.
Hey.
They came to burn my kingdom, so they all brought fire. When that didn't work, they called me a liar. To tell you the truth, my kingdom can't be burned. And on that day, that is something they learned. Immortality, see, it has to be earned. I was bitten via vampire, but I couldn't be turned. B-boys breaking as I rock this mic. So damn amazing, watch them all take flight. For this generation, here's a little insight. Rappers nowadays can't rhyme all right. They need to learn a lesson from Lauren and Light and Queen Latifah. Watch them recite. If you disrespect my women, there is gonna be a fight. A lot of fake rappers is dying tonight. So this little middle school kid inspired me to go home and do some work.
Yeah.
And that's what hip-hop used to do.
Good. That's so good.
You know what I'm saying? You spit a rhyme, and then the other guy say something about you. It's no beef. Let me go up. LL, up. I know what LL's talking about. Let me go home round and round.
Right.
And then we'll go home round and then LL go home round and round. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we created this beautiful thing of hip-hop. Now with hip-hop, you just got everybody doing the same thing.
I was just going to get into this. This is perfect.
Really?
You're doing the best.
Yeah.
You just lead me through this. I don't have to do anything. I'm just going to sit back and let this happen. All right.
Right,
So
for real.
I actually watched a couple interviews with you where you said where you said something similar to that, where cats are getting stale right now. Things are like
when it gets
you're
monotonous,
just
it
a
gets
trap
boring,
artist, or you're
right.
just a backpack rapper.
Yeah, it's boring and lazy.
Right.
I can never critique another person's creativity. It's what they do.
Right.
They create it. I would never do that, critiquing it. But when you asked me, being an expert in this, and when I judge something, not even a judge. I don't want to judge. When I give my opinion on something,
Right.
like hip hop right now. I'm judging it from when I was 12 to 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not judging it because I'm 53 years old and I'm a man and I'm too old to understand hip hop. No, I damn near created this thing. So I'm judging it for that. Right when I'm looking at the overall, they always ask me on radio stations, what do you think about hip hop right now? Hip hop is like disco. Glitter balls.
It is.
Pink fur coats,
It is.
jewelry, dudes wearing dresses. I'm not saying gay. It's
No,
like
no.
disco. Think about disco. Sex is the thing. Getting high is the thing. Having money. Go back and look at Studio 54 and then look at hip hop right now. Bentleys and Rolls Royces and diamonds and champagnes and mansions and all of that, right? Think about that. Now, what happened to disco after 3 or 4 years? People started saying disco sucks.
Yep.
So that's what they're saying about hip hop now. Because it sucks. All this glitter ball, this and that. There's no innovation. There's no sounds. There's no feelings. There's no soul.
Right.
And that's why it's boring and lazy. Because now, because of the curriculum that is being continually pumped out by these bullshit radio stations and stupid asinine record labels, has made it easy for everybody to do hip hop. Not
right.
saying that it ain't good. It's been easy. I'm DMC, the king of rock. There is none higher for eternity. When I was on the road in 88 with Run DMC, Public Enemy, Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Look at the diversity of that set right there.
Huge.
And we're on stage. I'm DMC.
Yeah.
Runs right there. Chuck D, the god of Mike that never got high a day in his life. Chuck was 21 saying, I'm a goddamn man. Damn it, I don't need none of this. And Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Oh, come on, don't sleep on Will's skills.
Not ever.
Don't ever sleep on Jazzy Jeff as a DJ skill.
Not ever.
So, and look, and EPMD, salute. We all standing on the stage, some of the baddest, hottest, best in the business, looking at Rakim going, man, we can't do that. Think about that. Think about all of us looking at Rakim. We left out Joe. We go, come on, Rakim's going on. So I can't do that.
Right.
But we had to figure out what could we do.
Absolutely.
That's what made it so complex
Right.
and so interesting. Now it's easy to be around. Sipping syrup out my cup. Sipping syrup out my cup. What up, what up? I could go make that a hit right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bitch, man. That's my bitch. That's my bitch, man. You just throw a dope beat. And another thing about those beats, let's not get it twisted. East Coast invented that. The 808 drum.
Right.
Dumb, dumb, dumb girl. Party people. Boom, boom, boom. We developed that sound, and Jermaine Dupri took it down south.
Yep.
So let's keep that real. You know what I'm saying?
This is actually a perfect
crazy.
segue. So what I did, knowing that you've been asked like a million questions. Yeah, come on in, guys. You're good.
Come on in.
Knowing that
Oh,
you've been
good.
asked a million questions and probably
Come
a lot
on,
of them
everybody,
are the exact.
come on in. This
Look
is
at this.
family.
The entourage is here. So knowing that you've been asked probably the same 100 questions over and over and over again,
Yes.
what I did was I reached out because luckily I've had this show for a year now, and I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of artists in this town.
Okay. So
And
they
all-
got questions.
They've got questions
Let's
for
answer
you.
their questions.
I
Yes.
agree.
That's so cool.
So instead of me doing the silly stuff,
Right.
it's time to really get out there and see what these guys want. So
Right.
I went out first and I talked to my buddy Tone Capone out of Tampa. He wants
Yes.
to know what your thoughts are. You just went into this too
Right.
about New York rappers incorporating Southern styles into their work.
Okay, it's good if a New York rapper, in the midst of his catalog that he's creating now, like if he's working on a mixtape or an album,
Right.
to spit on that, to show them that you're dominant on that too.
Right.
But to overall take it and jump on the bandwagon, that's not a good look for us.
You heard that. You heard that. All right, awesome. We're moving
For
on.
real.
This is perfect. All right, this question's way outside the box.
Yep.
J-Rock Jones out of Tampa wants to know, if you could put Louis Farrakhan and Donald Trump in the same room for 1 hour,
Yes.
what do you think the outcome of that meeting would be?
Wow, that's a great question.
Right? He got me on that one, too.
There wouldn't be, I don't think there'll be a good outcome on Trump's side.
Is there ever?
Because I don't think he wants to understand
Right.
that he don't know it all.
That's exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
agree
I don't
with that.
think it'd be a good outcome.
He's
You know what I'm
probably right.
saying?
He's probably right.
For real.
We could have a whole show just on that thought alone.
Of course.
All right, so
exactly,
let's keep
exactly.
moving here. Who else did I get? Ali Vegas hit me up. Ali Vegas is out of New York, actually.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out.
Yeah, what up, Ali? He wants to know what your pre-show meal is. Like, what is it?
I never eat. I don't eat the whole day before a show because I'll throw up all over the place.
Oh, yeah, because you still get those jitters?
Yeah, the butterflies.
Oh,
I cannot eat. Don't come around me for lunch or breakfast on a show day.
Not happening.
Yeah, I don't eat until after the show.
I was going to say, do you just gorge after the show?
No. I'll get up. You know what? I'll get up in the morning, have a protein shake, and I'm good. But I don't want to eat nothing because I get scared.
You're still a huge guy. I guess you don't show all the time, so you get to eat during the week and stuff.
Yeah, I get to eat.
Right,
Yeah, it's not that I don't eat. But if I ate before a show, it'd be the worst.
Right, heard that. All right, cool. Good question. Last one I got. Mike Mass out of Tampa.
Mike Mass
is a beast. I don't know how, I'll never have time
Beast
to share
from
it,
the East.
I'll share it with you someday.
Right on.
He says, how do you, as a hip-hop legend and influencer, make sure that new artists that you hear who you'd like to support are connected to those who can help them gain visibility?
Well, they don't really need my help because now technology, the internet, social media and all of that, like nowadays, like my son's 22 years old, so he knows all that stuff. I'm so old school. I had a beeper still until my son made me get a BlackBerry, and then the BlackBerry got old. I didn't want to get rid of that. Then they made me get an iPhone. But now you can expose yourself. But that being said, the internet is a blessing, but it's more of a curse. When I was in high school, 10th grade, Rice High School, it was an all-boys Catholic high school in the middle of Harlem. The congregation of Irish Christian brothers came to Harlem to do something for the Latino and the black kids in the hood. And they were great and stuff like that. But my social studies and history teacher, Mr. Burbis, said something, and this is very powerful. And this applies to anything that is culturally relevant, anything that is culturally relatable to a mass of people or to a tribe or a culture or a nation. He said, when everybody stinks, nobody stinks. And he was talking about the medieval times with the dudes running around with the knights in shining armor. The hygiene was not like it is today.
No, it was still warm, yeah.
Think about it. Think about it. They didn't really have Arid Extra Dry. Now, that being said,
Shout out
if
Arid.
everybody's stinking, nobody stinks. That's why when you look at The Walking Dead, you wonder why they ain't running around with, because there's so many dead people on the earth in the Walking Dead.
Everybody's
you're used to it.
Yeah.
Unless you really get oh my God, you see every once in a while, they'll walk in the house, wrecking them and this and that. So right now, on the internet, there is so much bad stuff. Prominently, like, it's cool to have a lot of bad stuff, but we always had a place for it. No, to get to the bad stuff, you got to click on that and go there. Now it's just free reign, so there's so much bad stuff that everybody think bad is good.
Ooh.
And that mentality, hold up, it doesn't end there. The hip-hop problem with the negative records and images isn't just because of the music. Look at Trump. He's just an example. America itself, for the last 15 years or more, celebrates negativity like it's a good thing as long as you make some money. You could be an asshole, you could be a disrespectful, illiterate fool, and they'll put you on TV and give you shows and give you the front covers, and the person that's intellectual and educational, doing positive things for this world, nobody wants to look at them. That's because the internet has now done for our music to make us lazy, and to make us think, I have no power to change this. But how do we change that? I tell people this. We got to create hip-hop again.
Hey.
Let's go back to somebody was saying, 1974, but I'm getting the inside from cats like the almighty KG and Grandmaster Caz and DJ Johnny Juice. They was like, yo, hip-hop's 69, 71. You know what I'm saying? Before Rappers Delight. We got to go back to before Rappers Delight. And the solution to all of this is the arts. The arts, not just the music. I'm talking about the painters and the playwrights and the book writers and the authors and the sculptors.
Absolutely.
It's the arts. Now, think about it like this. The first thing I do as an evil dictator or a tyrant that wants to take over a nation of people, before I come in and bring the army to physically kick your ass, the first thing I do is instruct, and y'all see it on TV what ISIS is do. Go to the museums. Go burn. Arrest all the book writers, arrest all the painters, arrest all you kill the arts, you kill the creator. The guy's writing a book, kill him, go to the library, burn all their books. Now once they destroy all the creative minds that elevate the people, now we can go in there and beat us down with the guns and stuff like that. But they can bring guns, armies, tanks, and even atomic bombs. Yeah. And if we arm ourselves with the arts, those bombs and bullets will have no effect on us. But they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
It's just like in the comic books.
It is. This guy. Straight. I know we're running out of time here. Yes. I know you got a lot going on. I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
First is about you completely. Yeah. What is in the future?
I got an album coming next year. The newest thing that's going to happen on November 14th, Record Store Day, I'm putting out vinyl.
Hey.
And the DJ's going to love this. I'm putting out vinyl. It's a 4-song EP called Back from the Dead. 4 songs that are going to be on the album that's coming. The album is DMC, but that stands for Dynamic Musical Collaborations. Oh. So this first 4 songs on this vinyl EP that's coming out is going to be a song with me and Chuck D, a Public Enemy, backed by a rock band out of Montreal, Canada called Slaves on Dope. Me and Chuck got a song called Coming Like a Rhino. And then I also have a song called Flames, which I'm going to send to you.
All right.
It's produced by John Moyer, the bass player from Disturbed.
Oh.
And it's a duet I did with Miles Kennedy called Flames, talking about all the shootings that's going on in America. And then there's another song with me and my new band, Darryl's Music Company, called Back from the Dead, which is the title. And the 4th song is a duet that I did, produced by Jared Lee Gosselin out of L.A. It's me and Rome, the new lead singer from Sublime.
Hey, that's
And that's
cool.
going to be November Record Store Day. Then at the top of the year, I'm dropping the album Sammy Hagar, Joan Jett, Tim Armstrong from Rancid. And that's just the teaser. So I'm dropping the new music. And then I got a book right now. If you want to know why DMC is never on Run's house for the last 10 years, I got a book out now called 10 Ways Not to Commit Suicide, which is a book that's about me, but everybody from kindergarten kids to old men, 100 years old, will see themselves in this book. So
beautiful.
Check it out.
Can't
it
wait
answers
to do
the question, why DMC ain't on Run's house?
I love
that book answered.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. I'm just going to put you on the spot now. Maybe as things start to drop again, you'd like to come back and join us here on Ghost Riot Radio.
Done, yeah. When the music drops, I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back in town. Done.
You heard it here first. I guess my last question is a little bit personal, just for me, really. You've done a lot of podcasts.
Yes.
How you feel about Ghost Riot Radio?
This one was really good.
Yeah.
I wish this is one podcast we could do for a week without stopping.
Yeah.
All they would have to do is just keep bringing water in. Maybe we should do that. We should be the Guinness Book of World Records, the longest podcast ever done.
You want to? I'm in.
Yep. 365 days.
we have to get sponsored by Fiji or something,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yo, listen, I can't thank you enough. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on Ghost Riot Radio.
Thank you.
Folks, make sure that you go check out DMC. Daryl makes comics. Make sure if you're not a comic head, you probably will be now. This is dope. This is a really good idea. What are the other great ways people to follow you right now?
Twitter. Okay, I always get messed up. Where's my son at? My Twitter is @TheKingDMC.
Yes, you're right.
And my Instagram is @KingDMC.
All right, you heard her here. Make sure you go follow, do all that good stuff. We have a mutual friend in Mr. Big K.O. himself.
Yes.
He sent me a track.
Knock him out.
Oh, so good. K.O., thank you again to you.
You're going to close the show with that, right?
I am. We're gonna put it together right now. He sent me a track that you all did called None Higher.
Yes.
And so we're going to go ahead and use that one as the one to get us out of here today. So that's awesome. Again, shout out Big K.O. for putting this together for us. This is an absolute dream for me, checking one off the bucket list for me right now. This is fantastic. Thank you again, man. I appreciate it. Folks, one last time, please do me a favor. Put your hands together for the man himself, DMC, Mr. Darryl McDaniels. Oh, the whole room's helping out. I love it. It's so good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Folks, if you have never seen Ghost Riot Radio before, make sure you tune in. I'm on YouTube. I'm all over the place. You can go check out Ghost Riot Radio, RIOT Radio. Check out Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all the same. We're a podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Folks, as always, I'm Nick Noble, thanking you for joining us for this extra special episode of Ghost Riot Radio. I'll see you tomorrow when we do our normal show at 2 o'clock right here on Facebook. It's going crazy right now. These dudes, this is I'm just going to cry for a second. This is amazing. Yo, we'll see you next time for another episode of Ghost Riot Radio. We're playing this track right now, None Higher, produced by Big K.O. with the man himself, DMC. Make sure you don't forget to make your presence known, spread some love, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
There is none. There is none. There is none. There will never be. There is none. There will never be. There is none. There will never. There will never. There will never. There will never. There will never be. There is none. Like Luke Cage, I'm a hero for hire. Raised in the age of the vinyl record buyer. They came to burn my kingdom, so they all brought fire. When that didn't work, they called me a liar. To tell you the truth, my kingdom can't be burnt. And on that day, that is something they learned. Immortality, see, it has to be earned. Bitten by a vampire, but I couldn't be turned. B-boys breaking as I rock this mic. So damn amazing, watch them all take flight. For this generation, here's a little insight. Rappers nowadays can't rhyme or write. They need to learn a lesson from Lauren and Light. And Queen Latifah, watch them recite. If you disrespect my women, there is gonna be a fight. A lot of fake rappers is dying tonight. There is none. 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 There is none higher. Let me make this clear. NASA keeps trying, but they can't come near. I can't be contained in this atmosphere. Cause one thing I'm lacking, and that thing is fear. Y'all wanna know why I'm still raising hell? I get my inspiration from the hell. Grandmaster Caz, AD and KG. To like the cold crush, don't fuck with me. Look for the highest mountain that you can find. I'm higher than the highest mountain that you can climb. I'm better than any line that you can rhyme. I'm greater than everything that you design. People wanna say that I'm out of my mind, cause I'm killing MCs like that is a crime. The crown and the throne and the kingdom is mine. I won't stop rocking and I won't resign. There is none. There is none.